Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, it's April 2nd today, 2026. This is Dad and his lifetime of stories, and this is raw and unedited video. As you'll see, mistakes are not edited out. It's just straight from the cuff questions. Okay.
And he woke me up to do this. I was still in bed, just about it. I just got up. But anyway, here we go.
um, After you got married to Mom, did you get a chance to take a honeymoon, or where did you go after you got married?
We didn't take a honeymoon of sort until uh, that coming year, I believe. We went down to Pensacola, Florida. Is where we went to. And
Did you just
I'm,
go to the
I'm trying to
beach?
think of who did anybody go with us, because you kids was beginning to be born. I don't know whether.
If Carrie went, or she'd have been, that'd
Yeah,
been the only one that would have went.
probably so.
If not, y'all, what did you do? Just go down to the beach, or
We just went to that's the closest we could get to the beach without going further on down to Tampa or in that area, right inside the American Gulf. It's not what they call it now.
Gulf of
Yeah,
Trump, Gulf of Mexico?
Gulf of,
Mexico.
okay. But
How long did you stay? Just a couple of days?
we stayed a couple of days, and long enough for your mama to get blistered. And I got a little bit of blister too, not much. At least I knew better than the blister down there, because I did that once before. And man, it's miserable if you ever do get blistered. And but I just kind of stayed away from it a little bit, and I kept clothes on. We made some newsreel or some pictures of it, because she had this brownie camera that she bought when she first started working. And we've got a lot of films. And you may have remember, I had a towel wrapped around the bottom, but I had my bathing suit on.
Mm-hmm.
But I had it wrapped around this way, and it seemed like I had it at one time, and your mama had it. But that's about the only relaxation that we had, was chasing one another down there in that old towel.
Um, as far as my next question, it kind of would have gone farther along in your marriage. And I'm not sure if I asked you this. I'm pretty sure I didn't. When you took the job in Little Rock and you had to move to Cabot,
Mm-hmm.
do you recall, was that like in 1971 maybe, or thereabouts, when we moved to Cabot?
Well, we married in '65. Uh, I don't remember what year that was, Mark.
Yeah,
I wish you said something before we cranked this thing up. I could have thought about it a little.
that's what raw and unedited is.
I know.
I don't give you the questions in advance. Maybe I should, but I just don't.
That's all right.
Um,
Well,
I'm
man,
guessing it had to be in the early '70s when we moved to Cabot. Do you remember the house as far as what you bought it for? as far as what the price may have been, an estimate?
Oh, it was $6,500.
$6,500.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
what it
was
was.
a three
That
bedroom
was two
house,
two bedroom,
2 bedrooms.
2 bedroom, 1 bath, because we didn't have no children at the time, and we lived on 26th Street, I believe, or 16th, uh, right off Broadway. Of course, those streets go by numbers down through there until you get into town where the railroad track is. From railroad track on down, I think what was this side. Uh, Colored Town was this side of the railroad, and on the other side is where all the businesses and of course Federal Compress had their office right on the north. Let's see, it was on the northeast corner of the railroad track, but it was right there close to Broadway. The office was. As you turn in on one side, and I think Kroger or something was on the other side of the track. It was on the
Do you recall, as the kids were born, were you able to make it to the hospital, or did you take mom to the hospital?
no, it was usually whenever she got ready to go see Ray and Lex lived uh, right in town, going out of town a little bit uh, west from where we lived and from where the Federal Congress is. Because Federal Congress right downtown, right there where the railroad tracks went through West Memphis, and I'm trying to think. Broadway was the name of the street, the main street, and your mama worked right from about 2 blocks down, or maybe not that far, to where you wow off and go north off of Broadway, and Broadway went straight on through town, where she was working at Spot's drugstore.
So who took mom to the doctor to have the kids?
It was your Aunt Ray.
Uncle Lek or just Aunt Ray?
Just Ray, because Leck worked out of town. He was
Okay.
working in Osola, I believe. He was, because he goes to wherever he's building a place, he goes to that town and
Stayed.
stays there.
You've mentioned several times about your first car being a 57 Ford.
No, it's a 51 Ford.
51. Okay.
51.
Well, I couldn't read what I wrote.
Well, I bought another one, which was a 57, which it was a good car.
How much do you recall what that thing was running? Or did you bought it used, I guess? Or did you buy
No, I bought it new.
brand new? Do you
Yeah,
remember what it
brand
cost
new.
brand new?
It seemed like it's about $3,500,
Wow.
about what it cost.
Was that a 4-door car?
2-door.
2-door car?
2-door hardtop, what it was. And there was a place that you could go out of town a few miles and get on this road going to Hughes, Arkansas. It was a straight shot down there. And that's where most people went to try their vehicles out, because it's a pretty good highway and it had swells on each side of the road. If you happen to have to take to the ditch, at least you'd be running into a swell that wasn't real deep, you know. and I had to do it a time or two.
I'm still jumping around. But when we lived in Cabot, there was a tornado, and it was uh, March the 20. I looked it up. March the 29th of 1976. Do you recall the tornado, or I can refresh your mind?
Well, I was out of town,
Right.
really. Yeah,
Mom, you and Mom were out of town.
right.
Do you remember how you found out the tornado had hit Cabot?
Yeah, I had went over to Memphis to get another truck, and we were coming back. We went by Ray's, and Lake just happened to be there because he's usually somewhere else. But they had heard over the TV that uh, where the where the tornado had hit,
The path?
the path that it was taking, and they had heard that it had hit Cabot and just tore it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it went right through Cabot.
Wiped it out.
Yeah, but yeah, you know how word gets around. It did go through there, but it just happened to kind of bounce over. And I think y'all were in school. We knew
Mhm.
that's where all
We were getting out of school.
we're getting out of school.
Yeah.
And and I think some of you got caught in the ditch.
Joey.
That's where you got Joey. He and I don't know who else got in the ditch up
Yeah.
there. And that was right downtown
They
Cabot.
didn't. They were at basketball practice or something like that, but they had only place they had to go was that ditch, so that's where they went.
Well, I don't know whether he was going or coming
Gotcha.
from basketball
Right.
because as we were coming back into town, we had stopped at a service station out on the highway, Highway 40, that went from Little Rock to Cabot in that area, and we pulled up at this gas station, and we were there just a few minutes, and as we pulled up there, I got out. Was in a hurry just to get enough gas to go on into Cabot. And lo and behold, Ray and Lake pulled up to the same service station, just like that was following us, you know.
Yeah.
But it just so happened they pulled in at the same Exxon station or whatever it was, and said, "Oh, Ray got out just crying, why Dad? The tornadoes hit cabinets, tore it up, and kids going every which way up there."
Yeah.
And of course, that got your mama. We didn't know nothing about it, you know.
Do you remember how she reacted? What she did?
Well, it wasn't bothering me as much as it was bothering Ray and Lake. Kind of egged it on by coming up there and jumping out and hollering about the tornado, and we didn't know nothing about the tornado.
What it did, the path actually took out downtown, is what it did. And approximately 90 buildings. I think 5 people passed away, and I don't remember how many injuries. It was a lot. But I did look it up. That's the only reason I know that. And I wanted to find out exactly
Did
when
you
the
say
tornado
5 people
passed away.
Passed away?
Yeah. And dozens and dozens and dozens of injuries.
I just heard it was that many.
Yeah.
And that was there at Willie Ray Trailer Park.
Yeah.
Because that's where it went. It went over that. I don't know whether it was right over it or what. But Willie Ray had a trailer park there, the mayor, which was, I guess, downtown Cabot. But
Yeah. Um, I think you said, if I remember right, of course, this is going back that far, that um, mom, after Aunt Ray got out and Uncle Leck, and they said what they said, mom kind of melted like a noodle and
Yeah,
just kind of drifted down to the floorboard.
she didn't
Maybe
bash.
before she saw, when she saw the stuff and
Yeah, she didn't bash out, but
got close.
she got. But she was excited though whenever she went into and saw all of it going on. It adrenaline got flowing real good
Well, the,
with her.
when you tried to come into town, didn't the National Guard stop you or something, or they wouldn't let
Well,
you go so far?
yeah, we got stopped there on 89 that goes down to Lone Oak, and we were told by the guard that was out there telling us to stop and go, which were, and he was talking about what all was damaged downtown. He said, if you go this way about 2 blocks and turn left, you'll be back on 89, which goes right straight into and by the school a little bit, and you can see that. And we went in that way instead of waiting on 89 that was blocked off. Because as we went over the railroad, I think we went over right beside Debbie Diller's house, and we may have been in Jimmy Porterfield. I think Porterfield had a house uh, there right in town, right by the railroad track on
Right.
this side of the main part of town. So
And then Debbie Diller lived on the opposite side of the
yeah,
track, kind of sort of
yeah,
on the corner
right on the corner across
by
from the
the,
school, from the church
right.
where we went to church, and we were able to get that far, and we, of course, we were going everywhere asking, and I'm not sure whether Mark came in about that time. No, he was at home. You had went to the house.
Yeah, the
Huh?
bus got us there,
Yeah,
but I was all by myself. Wasn't
you
nobody
were.
around. Yeah.
You probably could. Could you get in the house? Were you able to
I
get in the
was
house?
like out in the yard. I remember just kind of standing around because when the bus dropped us off, we were really, really far behind schedule, but there was nobody there.
I
And I
guess
can't tell you if Joey or Carla, whoever showed up next, but they came in not too long after I did. They made it.
they had people bringing them in then that had come
Either
by and
that or
saw.
Joey had a car at that time,
Yeah,
that red car that he bought from Nikki.
from
Nikki,
Nicky Boyd.
uh
Yeah,
huh, that Chevelle or whatever that car was he had.
yeah.
But yeah, I did look it up, so that's the only reason I knew that little bit of information about it. Other than I did remember it was from '76.
Where did you get your info?
Just got online and Googled it.
Okay, and
Just
that's
Googled
something what?
the yeah, just Googled the tornado in Cabot in approximately 1976.
Do you ever remember when you really found out? I mean, did you find out anything that was different from what you'd already?
A little bit. I wasn't sure about how many people passed away, and I also wasn't really sure about how much damage there was. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember there was damage because we had like one 2-story building downtown, and that was it, and it got it, and it collapsed. But I could be wrong, but maybe 90 structures total, car lot all the way down through there. But
well, it came right through downtown
right,
Cabot.
it either hit right there at Debbie Dillard's, but I think that was the pathway was going down through town, and when it got to her place, it must have lifted.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Whichever way it was going,
Yeah, it went
and
up
and I guess
because it didn't get to school.
yeah, seemed like kind of bounced over that.
Right. Some people think maybe it hit the railroad tracks, and that's what made it go up. Because
Well,
right there in front of W. Dilders, that was a pretty good incline.
yeah,
Okay, I'll shut up, everybody, and get back to where we were at. As a matter of fact, we can just stop there, and we'll do it again next week. Goodbye, everybody. Until next week.
bye bye. Take care.